Mic check. Mic check. All right, looks good. Welcome back. Welcome back. The volume, bro, this volume is spectacular. My goodness. All right, 1 second here. Let me finish a couple things and we'll break down here. Here go my levels, right? Take a second here, check out my levels. We have our previous day low down here, hasn't been swept. This was the low put in during New York PM session. Around the spot, remember, I don't know if you guys were tuned in yesterday, but remember yesterday we were looking for buys down here. But what did I say? I said as long as price is below this EMA or whatnot, it could take forever to offer the target, right? And what happens overnight, just accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. And then here we are, you get the random expansion and price accelerates directly towards these New York session highs here. So those are going to be my targets going into this session, especially since if you zoom in here, you'll see we have divergences all throughout this internal move here. You see price failing to go lower on ES, but giving you that exhaustion, right? So the bullish narrative was pretty much confirmed down in here. And I'll go over, I took a quick scalp as I was preparing, literally, just because it was so obvious. I'm like, bro, and it's still going, but all right, cool. So let's see here. Let's see. All right, cool. Looks like I'm good. Let VIP know that trading is officially live. And I'm just gonna go through the bias from yesterday because I don't think we're gonna get a trade price. You see what I mean? Like this is a perfect example of what I talk about almost every single week. How just because you have a really good system, right? You have a really good model, you have a really good entry process, and you have really good analysis, right? The market doesn't care about any of that. You have to be really good at understanding when the market is trying to go and when the market is not trying to go anywhere, right? So here, a lot of people would have got chopped up trying to buy this, right? Lots of people, I'm sure, got chopped up trying to buy it, where it was very obvious price would likely push higher. Instead, the market just wastes time, right? That's the one advantage that the markets have over us. The markets pretty much determine when the move happens, right? It can give you hints and signs that it's about to take off all day long. But if you get in too early, you're losing money on what should be an easy trade, right? So for me, how did we avoid not getting caught up in this, right? First of all, it's all about the higher time frame. When I was getting my signal for buying here, look at what time it was. It was like 2 o'clock. We got no signal for divergence until about 2 p.m. here. And I'm off the charts by then because I know that after 2 p.m., the market has a tendency to just waste time. There's going to be some days, you get that 3 to 4 p.m. power hour where price just runs. But more times than not, from what I've seen, after 2 p.m., the market just gets lazy, right? So I stay away, and then I sign in this morning. And as I'm having breakfast, I noticed we have no red news this morning. So that right there kind of opens the door for me to look for potential setups. I don't typically trade before 10 a.m. because of news events and things like that. But today there was no major news event before 10 a.m. So if the market wanted to start pushing, it could, right? And what do you notice here? You'll see this low right here on NASDAQ for 8 a.m. low. You'll notice that this 8 a.m. low sweeps out this 330 low, and that's the lowest candle, right? So you have from here 330 until 8. And then notice over here, that same candle, 8 a.m. candle, doesn't even sweep the 6 a.m. low. So you have a divergence right here, right? And when I look inside of this manipulation candle, right, you'll see the most beautiful ROC reversal, right? You'll see it right here. Let's go to like the 4-minute, right? So here, you're going to see this manipulation leg put in a divergence. I'm looking for a bearish gap. Beautiful, beautiful bearish gaps, right? And are they in sync? Yes, they are. Bearish gap right here at 808. Perfect. What happens to this gap? We push into this gap here, offering rejection, and then we climb above it, right? When you climb above it, you'll see we start to basically displace. We have some minor gaps in here, not major gaps. However, you do notice that we do displace this internal high here on both, and this one offers more gaps than ES, but you can see the displacement, right? Obvious displacement. These are bullish areas of interest. All right, and then when you get this area hit on NASDAQ, what do you notice? Price erupts at 9:30. And then on the backside, what do you notice? At 9:30, ES decides it wants to manipulate and give you a Judas swing. All right, if 9:30 price action was this clean without red news, I would trade it every day. But most of the time there's news events in this time, so I just wait until the news is over, right? So here was the trade where you get the very, 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 very textbook move where, remember, when I draw these trades, I have this golden zone from the low to that displacement where I just don't want to see price close through this yellow zone here. And what does price do? Price gives beautiful confirmation. It sweeps it out, fails to close below this low, gets back above the EMA here. And I was like, I wasn't going to take it because I'm still getting ready. I'm having breakfast. But I was like, if we pull back into this EMA, right, as usual, retest the EMA and then start climbing out of it, I'll take this buy for a quick scalp, a quick 5 or 6 points, right? And look at it. Price runs 17 points. So that right there would have been, no, that right there would have been my ideal trade for this session. It happened super early. I did catch it, but I'm hoping that price, really, I would much rather just for price to go ahead and hit this high, right? It's, you know what I mean? It's so far gone. It's already on the way. If it doesn't hit that high, then I want to see price pull back and offer some sort of divergence. But also make sure you guys go ahead and like the stream today. We're going to do a giveaway at the end of the session. So I would like to see at least, I don't know how many viewers, 10 likes on the stream. We'll unlock the giveaway. I'll probably be on stream until like 1:30 today. But yeah, these are my levels. And this is my target. Same exact target from yesterday. Notice this was the bottom, right? Remember we were talking about how, imagine if we were making a bottom here, right? You don't want to rush, because if you're truly putting in the bottom, you're going to have multiple opportunities to enter as price works its way back towards the opposing liquidity. All right, we got a retest of this weekly open. We got this regular trading hours gap fill down here, and now you see price is drawing directly to this Tuesday high. If we take it out, naturally, you already know, look for a reversal. If we fail to take it out, look for some sort of pullback here that gives you a divergence to go higher. All right, and that's as simple as it's gonna get, right? A pullback, offer a divergence, and then go higher. All right, this will be the only trade idea for a continuation. And then the same thing for a reversal. You want to see this high get taken. If there is some sort of divergence, you want to see a short. Same thing here. We may not take that high. And you look for a short. All right. So the table is set. I feel like we should catch a really nice trade if this volume continues. I don't want to see it just stall out here, right? But so far the volume is fabulous. My goodness. I wish I might start, honestly, I can't even say that. I'm thinking that I might start streaming at 9:30 when there's no major news events. But it's just tough because I know that 9:30 isn't going to be this clean most of the time. And I would have to back test it and make sure that I'm not signing up for something that I really don't want. Right? So I probably won't, but that's something that I may be able to work on over time. Gather some more data to see how price behaves when there isn't any red news during that 9:30. Did we have red news yesterday? We didn't. Let's look at yesterday while we wait. What happened at 9:30 yesterday? Tuesday, no, yesterday, 30 minute. All right, cool. So here, 9:30 at the highs. Let's see if we would have been able to catch this short if we traded. So 9:30, I'm looking for a divergence on any of these moves higher. We take out this high here. Okay, so you see a divergence here. 8:30 high takes out all of the overnight highs, and we have, oh wait, I take that back. This one takes it out as well. So 8:30, no divergence at the high, no divergence there, no divergence there. Yeah, there was nothing. Unless you're on the 15-minute, there's definitely likely to be some 15-minute divergence in here. Oh, not even. No 15-minute. The one 15-minute divergence you see is right here at 9:45. But if you're using the 15-minute, you have to use the 1-minute entry pattern or something on the lower time frame, which I don't like using, so I probably wouldn't have caught it no way. But if you notice here, this drive up, you look for some sort of imbalance. There goes your imbalance. See what I mean? Like, yeah, the 1 minute just sucks. This imbalance here, displaced it here, pushes back into the zone, gets back below the EMA. You do have a short. It's just so weird. Like, the 1 minute chart is like, what was the point of this drive back higher? You break structure, drive all the way back up here. Yeah, nah. Ideally though, if you're on the 1 minute, you see the gap, you see a displacement, you wait for the retest, and you're waiting for price to get back below the EMA and respect the EMA. You see the obvious respect off of this EMA. You give it a try. 30-point stop. And you just aim for your 30, 35 points max. So you probably could have caught this. I don't like using the 1 minute anymore. I feel like I had my 1 minute run where the 1 minute was fabulous, and then it started to just fade away. So I don't really trust the 1 minute right now. If you know, you know. All right, so right now we're seeing some sort of rejection from where? All right, fair value gap up here, bearish gap up here, which means nothing, right? I don't care about these bearish gaps. As long as my target is still up for grabs and price is showing this type of move, I don't care about these bearish gaps. However, the bearish gaps will show you if there's sellers in there, right? And you want to see price reject just a little bit so you can get that internal high and then displace that high, right? So even though I don't care about them, I love to see the rejection out of the opposing gaps because that tells me people are trying to short it. And then you just wait for those shorts to get exhausted, push as far as they want to go. Maybe they push a little bit lower. But then once you displace that initial drive, the floodgates are open if you can survive the retest, right? The retest is very important because breaking structure or breaking an area of interest is one thing, but to pull back and retest and show it still wants to keep going, you can't argue with that. All right, cool. So let's see. Did I close YouTube? I think I did. All right, so yeah. Let's see, man. All right, so let this play out. You guys already know the game plan, right? So if we get this pullback, I'm just looking for some sort of exhaustion. Even 15-minute exhaustion is fine, as long as price offers like a clean 3 or 4 minute continuation. If you're just tuning in, go ahead, like the stream to enter the giveaway today. I want to know, I'll think of how I want to do it. I'll probably just spin the wheel or do like the little Google race where you just type in your name. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna sit back. If you guys didn't hear the game plan, just jump in the chat. I'll type it. Ask questions if you have questions. But yeah, we're just waiting to see, is price actually going to take out this high, or are we going to get a pullback and then continue towards the high? Yes, bleeding up, right? Melt up. What is your exact model? Any discount code for Bullnox or any other prop firm? So I'll drop the link to my Discord, and here you can go. I have a discounts tab. I really don't trade at Bullnox, so I've never traded there. I don't even know much about them at all. But edit. All right, so here is the link to my Discord. Paste. Check out the Discord, and you'll see like a discounts tab, things like that. He said, "Bro, my cat stepped on my keyboard." What is my exact model? Bro, to be honest, like I have like a, how do you say? I have like a journal of reversal models. So anything from like a breaker to BPR to what's another common one? Just a market structure shift with the sweep, market structure shift, retest. And me personally, all I did over time was I studied those setups so much that I was able to like take bits and pieces from each concept and then just create my own model from those. But essentially all I'm doing is I'm waiting for price to give one of the best signs of exhaustion, or aka one of the best signs for a potential reversal, which everyone knows that it's a SMT, right? So I made that the basically the foundation of my ideas. I need to see some sort of exhaustion on the 15-minute or the 30-minute candle closure, right? Emphasis on the closure. A lot of people like to look at 1-minute SMTs, 5-minute SMTs, and they don't even wait for the candle to close. And it's like that makes zero sense to me. So I wait for the closure because I find reasons to be patient. I understand that the markets will pay the patient traders way more than they pay the impatient trader, right? So waiting for the closure on top of that divergence, it solidifies, okay, now I should start looking for a reversal. There's no in between, right? Cool. What do you notice at almost every pivot in the market, every major turning point? I can almost guarantee you there's going to be some sort of 30-minute divergence or 15-minute divergence. If you look in here, here's the bottom. What do you notice? This low is swept out here. What happened to that low over here? wasn't even bothered. There goes your divergence. Now you have the green light to start looking for reversals. Okay. So it's not like this unknown principle. Everybody knows SMT is a really, really good sign for exhaustion in the market. But how do you use that, right? How do you use that tool? You know, that's how I use it. That helps me filter through a lot of other nonsense. And then from there, all I'm looking for is after this divergence, can I get some sort of structure inside, some sort of reversal structure? Let's see if we can see it in here. Well, we just saw it, right? On this one. There was a divergence this morning. I'm looking for 4, 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute, whatever, but anything above the 3 minute chart. I don't care to look at the lower time frames anymore. I just feel like they're too manipulated, and you don't know when that manipulation is going to step up. So I like to use the higher time frames. Helps me be a little bit more patient and avoid manipulation. All right. So yeah, like my model is more like a concept. It's not like a pattern. Like it's not going to look exactly the same, but it'll have the same features, and that'll let me know, all right, I'm on the right side of the market here. All I have to do is just look for a buy or look for a short, right? But you see the divergence here in this crowded area on the higher time frame. This was a 30-minute divergence with a closure. All right, you see this same low failed to be taken out. All right, so on that divergence, what this does is that identifies this entire move as manipulation, right? So if I consider this manipulation, I should look for price to start flipping these bearish gaps. This move is fake, bro. It's all a mindset, right? A lot of people would be looking to short these, or even if you were bullish, a lot of people would be afraid to buy because they're thinking, oh, look at all these bearish gaps. Stop it. Those bearish gaps, I'm going to eat those for dinner. I'm going to fade those happily, right? You got this bearish gap. Why do I like this bearish gap? Because this bearish gap was retested. This bearish gap showed that there were sellers inside by giving beautiful rejection. All right. But what do you notice when you reject here? Does it continue? No. These sellers are slowly being absorbed, pretending to be bearish with small rejections, but really the market's just absorbing them. And the final confirmation is going to be a solid closure through all of this internal rejection. Just you're going to see a blast through it. There goes your blast through it. The retest is where I'm looking to get in. Very simple. And my EMA, like I said, it always serves as like the last piece of the puzzle. I already know what I want. I want to see buys. I want to see these bearish gaps fail. I want to see divergence. I've seen everything I needed to see. Now I just need to see price break through this EMA, reclaim it, retest it. And once that retest is confirmed, I'm ready to go. The one thing I have to look out for is my target, right? If I have a target that's far away, like this one, I'm cool. I can just buy it. But sometimes the target is like super close. And once that target is hit, there's no reason for me to look for buys. So again, that's another part of like my perspective. It's not really like a super basic step 1, 2, 3 trading strategy. It's just me being aware of what's actually going on, using that to draw up a trade. Because there's going to be some setups where you see my exact reversal model, but I won't take it. I'll be like, nah, it's not a good spot for it. You know what I mean? Like, because there's no model that's just going to give you 100% wins every time you see it. You have to see a certain reaction inside of certain scenarios with specific, some momentum behind it. You know what I mean? There's a few different factors, but if I had to go like step for step and write it down, that's all it would be. I would just look for divergence. I'm looking for those divergence moves to offer gaps, because I know those gaps will tell me if I can catch a reversal or not. If price was truly bearish here, it would have pushed into one of these gaps and broke structure again. It would have pushed into here and broke structure again. But that failure to move lower that's my sign that a reversal is probably about to kick in here. Looks like a slow day. Yeah, it could be, man. Could be. If you guys are just tuning in, go ahead, like the stream if you want to enter the giveaway. Today, we're going to be giving away a 50K futures account. All you have to do is like the stream, and I will drop the link to enter towards the end of the stream. And yeah, we'll get somebody a free account. Hopefully they pass it and get a payout. Did I ever trade gold? I used to trade gold. Let's take a look at gold. I used to, bro. I used to love gold. But then it just started going straight up. And you guys know I'm a reversal trader, so it's hard for me to trade something that's just going straight up in the air. What's up with Bitcoin and Ethereum? Bitcoin and Ethereum called the top yesterday of the NASDAQ. Uh-oh. Here's another. Okay, no. We did make highs here. So 930 opens. Where's the divergence? Ethereum. Okay, yeah. So it looks bullish, right? We see Ethereum take out the 330 low here. Cool. This low was not taken out at all. Nowhere near it on Bitcoin. All right, so that's telling me that's a bullish indication, especially when you get this divergence followed by a break of a high. And they both broke that high, so there's no divergence at the high here. This pullback should lead to higher prices, ideally, right? If price is actually trending and not consolidating. Gold, if you're looking at gold, I would say gold and silver side by side. All right, cool. So yeah, if I'm looking at gold, I'm watching silver side by side. Um, that's another thing. I don't know if you guys are a fan of it, but never trade one chart on its own. Why settle for one confirmation when you can double your confirmation, double your confidence by just watching the correlated asset? All right, so here you go. You got this 930 divergence here. Nice drive here. This low was never taken out over here on silver. But then you got these divergences at the highs. But at 930, let's see if you go at 930 and catch a reversal off of this move lower here. So this one, yeah, this one's a bit tougher. But it looks like the EMA is holding up here on silver. We just reclaimed the EMA on... Actually, yeah, this looks pretty solid for gold to take this high here. Let's say you buy it off of this rejection here and stop below here. Target this high. Pretty nice profile. You got the divergence, you got the bearish gaps in here, and you see how price flips this gap, offers a bullish gap here. All right, and then now you're seeing clear and obvious rejection from the EMA, respecting this gap as well. The one thing about gold has weird surges. So like, I used to like gold, but like I say, I just don't like how volatile gold can be. Like you could get a random spike lower here for no reason. So yeah, but ideally this would be the same style of trade, a typical ROC reversal that I would like to try. And you just give price a chance to go without without manipulating lower. But like I said, it's always important to trade side by side. Don't settle for just one chart, and then that should help your win rate for real, like a lot. So here we go, right? You see that gold, Ethereum bullish. I'm sorry, not gold. You see gold and silver bullish. You see Bitcoin versus Ethereum bullish. And then you see NASDAQ versus S&P bullish. All right, so we're already on the right side of things. The key is always wait for some sort of divergence here. I could easily try and look for buys in here. I'm sure there's a lot of people probably down on these 5-minute gaps here, hoping for price to just keep going. But at that point, to me, you're like just gambling. Why not just wait for price to offer something? Either it's going to keep going and hit this target, cool, and then you look for a reversal off of that, or price is going to start retracing and taking advantage of all the people who are just clicking the buy button right now. There's people literally right now buying this for no reason. And the market could use those orders as the sweep, maybe even fill in this fair value gap here. You know, so I'm watching the 15-minute here because the speed looks really, really good. So we may not get a 30-minute divergence. We may just get a 15-minute divergence, which is okay with me. So I'll wait for that. All right, cool. There goes that 15-minute sweep. Nice. Let's see if we can retest this 10 a.m. price as well. Where's 10 a.m.? Okay, 10 a.m. is way down here on ES. Yeah, nice. So it looks like we're going to get that divergence. As soon as that divergence is printed, I'll zoom down and try to find an entry for a flip back higher. Yeah, something like this. Boom, boom, boom. Back higher. And NASDAQ is stronger, so I'll be looking to buy NASDAQ. Well, actually, look at this, right? Here we go again with the weird stuff. NASDAQ is not stronger. Both moves here offered a sweep on NASDAQ, right? We sweep here on NASDAQ, then you get this weird sweep here. It doesn't even matter at this point because look at what happens right after we get this so-called divergence where ES is stronger. What does ES do? ES turns around and sweeps the low, and then Nasdaq doesn't, right? So it's like, what, what's going on? There's no sweep of this low on Nasdaq, but then ES sweeps out that low here. So that just tells me whichever one gives the cleanest entry, I'm taking it. It doesn't even matter. They both should push higher. And I want the one that's closer to the high here because ideally you would think that this Nasdaq is going to be the one to take this high first, right? That's what you would think. So let's see what happens. All right, cool. Yeah, the waiting game begins. We have 7 minutes left in this 15-minute candle, right? A lot of people would be looking to buy right now because of the divergence. But the one difference for me is going to be I don't care to buy until this candle closes, right? Because the longer you trade, the more you realize candles don't just sweep and then turn around and flip bullish all in one motion. Typically there's segments. There's the sweep with a candle, then you get the next candle offer some sort of structure or delivery higher. Rarely do you see this one candle do it all. Sweep, manipulate, and then flip and deliver straight to a target. Unless there's news, right? If there's news, for sure. But you guys get the picture, I hope. cool. So here we have a 30-minute divergence along with that 15-minute divergence. We get a slight stab into this gap, but most importantly, this candle low was swept, and ES is nowhere near that candle low. All right, so that opens the door for a reversal. And here, what do you notice? There is a 1 minute BPR, which I hate. 1 minute. I can't say I hate them. I just don't trust them, bro. Like, I've made good money off 1 minute BPRs, and I've also lost trades where I'm like, bro, never again will I trust a 1 minute. All right, but here you can see bearish gap. We haven't really had much of a retest yet. So this is going to be that retest candle right here. And as always, if price wants to take off here without me, I'm okay with that, because I don't see much of a higher time frame profile here. All right. We are bullish. Yes, we do see the reversal divergence. Yes, but now I'm looking for like a higher time frame entry signal, something other than the 1 minute. And one day that'll make sense to you guys, but that 1 minute is a joke. That 1 minute will lie right to your face. And I'm sure you guys know that by now. It'll pay you. It'll work out. There's going to be days where that 1 minute was gold and it was like, yes, I'm happy I got in. And then other days, that same exact trade setup will slap you in the face and laugh at you. So yeah, I'm gonna let this one go without me, with hopes that we get some sort of drive lower once again, another manipulation drive. All right, when I'm looking at the higher time frame here, oh, look at that, we have a bearish divergence as well. All right, so there's just manipulation all over the place right now. What do you guys notice, right? You notice that this 10:30 candle swept 10 a.m. high. However, this 10:30 candle did not sweep the 10 a.m. high. If we have bullish profiles pushing into this divergence, I could look for a short here. Oh yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing. So what I'll do is I'll mark off, we do have, oh, we don't have anything bearish in this area whatsoever. What we do have is of this 2 minute order block here. Price is clearly bullish inside of this 2 minute order block. And for me, order blocks are simply a drive lower or a drive higher with multiple candles that failed and get flipped with another drive of candles. So you see this 1, 2, 3, 3 candles here. It's a nice drive lower, and then you get a immediate flip breaking through that last down close candle there. That's an order block for me, because these are levels that should hold on a retest here. Like this looks like a good trade idea. Like if I was anybody else, I would be buying this right now and seeing if price wanted to run to these highs. Because I don't care for back testing and back testing and back testing, I stick with what works for me, right? That prevents me from having to back test. You know what I mean? So I'm not taking this, but like I said, I don't see any reason to short. This is a 1 minute trade confirmation where you see the bearish gap get flipped, and then you close through it with a nice expansion, and you retest the EMA with a really good reaction here. This is a 1 minute buy signal. And because I don't care for 1 minute buy signals for the rest of the year, we'll just watch this one and wait for a higher time frame signal. Another thing with the 1 minute signals, they're very short lived. Like, you don't know where price is going to reverse from on the 1 minute chart. You really don't. Look at gold. Gold slams TP here. I don't know how many points this would translate to as far as money, but about 7 points here. 1-to-1. Silver looks better than gold, yo. Same exact entry. You bought gold at, if you bought silver at 10.12. Right here, cover the low. Sheesh. But yeah, if you are trading gold, don't trade it without watching silver or silver. Platinum, I think platinum could be a correlated asset, but silver is going to be your best bet. There you have it. Look at that. Free money on gold and silver. Ethereum, what are you guys up to? Bitcoin, Ethereum. All right, here we go. Pushing back towards midnight. Starting to look like this is buying territory. So yeah, I'll let this one play out. Maybe once price takes these highs, you'll start to see something a little bit clearer. But right now, I'm seeing a 2-minute buy signal, 1 minute buy signal, and I don't care for any of those right now. I wish the 1 minute and the 2 minute were more consistent, because I've gotten a lot better at reading the 1 and the 2 minute, but I just don't trust it. Let's see. This is starting to slow down. Yeah, I'm gonna just be patient here. It's 11 o'clock, so 1 more hour until 12. So, for example, if we are bullish, we're gonna start taking out the draw on liquidity around 12, and then you could potentially see that reversal happen, or vice versa. Price could still continue to trend lower here until about 12, and then you'll see the real move, the real delivery higher. So I'm just gonna chill here and wait it out. If you guys have questions, jump in the chat, and yeah, I'll just be on standby. So it looks like we're gonna get that trend to the high here. I don't see it slowing down yet. ES takes the high. Let's see if Nasdaq can hit that high also. If Nasdaq fails to take out this high, I'm gonna start looking for shorts as we're getting divergence, right? But if Nasdaq does take out this high, I'm gonna just wait for the next pullback and look for the same thing. I was hoping to get a like 3 or 4 minute entry signal, but as you can see, there's no bearish gaps at all in this move lower on the higher time frame. We have this 3 minute gap here, which doesn't even exist on ES. So I think I did the right thing here, just chilling, because like I said, if there's no buy signal on the higher time frame, that could mean that the lower time frame is giving you like a very short-lived buy, where as soon as price takes this high, or we may even get a divergence off of this high, right? But once price gets where it's going, you could see the real move be a short and it go way further, right? So I don't want to gamble for a small buy move. I want to be in on the right draw on liquidity. If price is still drawing towards that high, it'll be made obvious by right now we should make a new high on Nasdaq as well. However, if price wants to try and use some sort of manipulation tactic, you'll see ES take this high, Nasdaq fail to take this high, and then Nasdaq will start looking for lower and we'll get an easy short lower. I'm anticipating that it's going to keep going here. I don't see any reason to look for shorts, right? Which kind of sucks because I want a buy, right? I wanted this buy specifically, bro. Like, but hey, man, can't catch them all, right? 30 points, 30 points. Should smash TP here. If only this wasn't like a 1 minute chart. And it sucks because, like I said, like part of the win streak we had earlier in the year, I was using the 1 minute heavy. But as soon as the win streak came to an end, I started noticing, bro, like the 1 minute is a scam. Like, what is it doing? You know, I couldn't figure out why it just randomly had so much extra manipulation. So I just decided to stay away. And ever since then, we've been crushing the higher time frame. So I'll just leave it at that. Market looks pretty green overall. Microsoft flat, Google flat, Meta flat. 11:16. So now we have what? Bearish divergence on the 15 minute. I want to see this 30-minute chart close in the next 13 minutes here. So that's what I'm going to watch, guys. That's going to be how I design my next trade idea based on how this 30-minute candle closes here. I want to see Nasdaq take this high to show that it wants to continue. If we fail to take that high, this could be an easy reversal opportunity where we could get like ES to pull back into this gap. We could short it back lower. But if I had to pick, man, I would rather look for a buy, bro. So I'm hoping that Nasdaq takes this high. Cool. Look at that. Beautiful volume to give that clarity, right? That's that confirmation I wanted to see. Does Nasdaq show that it truly wants higher? And it does here. So this target is definitely where price is likely to draw. All right, this one, even the 1 minute setups are holding nicely here. Really good impulse, but notice how we trade through this high. It's important to notice that we gap through it. Right, that's beautiful. Telling me price is likely to continue higher here as long as we can maintain this leg right here. Not just this gap, but this entire leg. Price can retrace as deep as it wants until here. You know, as long as it doesn't break this low and starts climbing, I like higher. If price is really in a hurry, it'll respect this gap, but it doesn't have to respect this gap to remain bullish. All right, so what am I looking for now? We had divergence at the low. So what it looks like for me is going to be almost. It's just so ugly, bro. It's only giving you 1 minute clarity, and I don't like that. So it is what it is. Let me see if I can get a play off of like a 5 minute order block. All right, nice. So now this goes from a 2 minute order block to a 5 minute order block. This area right here, 5 minute strike zone essentially. You would want to see price get back inside of this green zone before you try and buy it. That way, you know you're buying at a discount and you know you're buying inside of the structure where the most momentum should be available. Up here, you shouldn't see much buying pressure. That's why you just wait for the pullback into this strike zone. Look for some sort of entry there. This 3 minute looks phenomenal on NQ, but ES fails to give that structure. No gaps at all. Like ES is a joke. Let me see if I just need to flip to the micro here. 3 minute micro. 3 minute, nothing as well. Oh well. But Nasdaq offers what, right? You see price offer the bearish gap here on the 3 minute. You see price offer the divergence leg. So this leg right here is where I'm looking for my reversal, right? You see how clean it is, right? You see how these setups come up almost every day, and it's the same exact thing. Sometimes it doesn't want to give me the higher time frame reversal. As you can see today, it just gives you the 1 minute reversal. All right. Which maybe next time I'll take it on a day like this where you see price is clearly in a rush, right? Price is showing you that you may need to trade the 1 minute if you want to get involved because price is in a hurry, right? So next time, maybe I'll take that 1 minute buy signal with like half risk. You know, I'll put that in my notes once I journal today, but I don't feel like I missed out at all because of my plan coming into today is to stick to the higher time frames, right? But now that we see that price is in such a hurry, I'm okay with, if I see another 1 minute confirmation, I'm okay with trying that 1 minute confirmation now, knowing that price is confirmed it wants higher. If I see a clean bullish setup, I'm okay with trying that. All right, so looking at the 3 minute here, I like what Nasdaq is offering on the 3 minute. Bearish gap, fills the gap, shows a little bit of rejection, and then you see more accumulation in this area, and then you see displacement here. All right, so this gap right here can serve as a continuation gap. Breakaway, breakout gap. Not breakaway, breakout, yeah. Like price breaks out, creates this gap. We could see a 1 minute buy signal inside of here. All right. Highly bullish so far. So far, we saw the 1 minute buy signal. It's offered a really nice trade. However, no trades for me so far on stream. So this 1 minute gap here, 1042. I gotta get off this 1 minute, bro. I just can't do it. So much happens on that 1 minute chart, it's ridiculous. So how I can do it, yeah. That's how I'll do it. We got this buy signal down here. Nice divergence, nice reversal. Now that we've taken out these internal highs, I'm gonna read price here to see if we can get some sort of 15-minute divergence again. And then I'll look for an entry off of that. Very simple, right? That's my game plan here. I need a new divergence. We have a clean bullish area of interest. I don't just want to just click buy right now because you're asking to get manipulated. All right, so if price does take off here and hit the target, good job, who cares? But most likely price is going to just accumulate a little bit, generate some lows, some 15-minute lows in here, and then you'll get a random drive that offers SMT, and then look for higher. You'll get that same drive here. Maybe we sweep that low, and then you look for boom. All right, so understanding that we just broke this internal high, we just broke this internal structure, there should be a pullback. All right, after the pullback, we should see divergence inside of this green zone here. And once I see that divergence, I'll be looking for my trade to go higher. Zero trades so far. Waiting for a new 15-minute divergence. All right, and that's it right there. That's the game plan. I won't be trading anything else outside of that game plan. But yeah, like I said, next trade idea, if I see that 1 minute confirmation end up being clean, as clean as this one, I'll try it out. Very clean, all right? Very clean. And then you're starting to see that 30-minute series of delivery candles now, right? So we already know where price is headed. Price was accumulating here, and then you get the breakout. Now we have this massive fair value gap here. A lot of people would have been like, I want to see this fair value gap get filled. But fair value gaps are just as important as previous candle highs and previous candle lows, right? So sweeping this previous candle low was enough to obviously send price higher. And I'm looking for these previous 30-minute highs to be hit, which is also all-time highs. Wow. What's going on with Bitcoin? Bitcoin still underneath the EMA, fighting for higher. Ethereum, same thing. So we could see a pullback here. Now that we see that Bitcoin is stalling, we could get a retrace for some rebalancing here. All right, price starting to stall a little bit here. I'm hoping we get this pullback before taking out the target. Let's see. Let's see. So if you notice what I'm noticing, right? We have a 15-minute divergence at the high, which is nice. That, excuse me, that could come in handy. I would love to see like a 30-minute divergence, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah, it looks like ES is still pushing. All right, yeah, we just take that high here. Man, 15-minute divergence at the highs, but still haven't hit this target, man. I'm hoping for one more, like, you know, like a second stage or third stage delivery. So this would be first stage, the first break, and then you got the second stage pull back here, and then now we're pushing. I'm hoping for like another slight pullback, and then hit the target. If we hit that target here, which it looks like it's about to, yeah, price is picking up. Notice what time it is. It's almost 12 o'clock. So that's telling me that we could have a sharp reversal off of this high here. Yeah. There goes. Yeah, we're about to take this high here. So once this high is taken, I'm probably going to have to reevaluate and probably flip bearish. Looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, notice how it's still under here. No signs of going higher just yet. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to wait for price to take this out, and then we'll see what happens. Look at that, man. I am loving this volume today. I am loving this volume. We called this trade yesterday. Today, it's like, man, I'm telling you, the longer you guys trade, these type of setups right here are going to be the ones that you realize these happen the most. It's like the setup starts forming a day or two in advance. And if you're too early, the market finds a way to just be weird. But when you recognize that, okay, price doesn't have to take off here, let me be patient. This is what you get. The real move accelerates. We just watched the market flow about 200 points in a matter of an hour and a half, 2 hours, straight up. And it's all because it was wasting time here, bro. The market knew where it wanted to go right here. All right, just waste time, manipulate, and then boom. But what what do we know about moves like this where you see it overextend? You know that chances are it's going to reverse just as strong. So this move higher, once it hits the target, it could be just as aggressive lower. All right, cool. So here we go, right? First half of the market session, we see price offer a very, very quick transition right at 9:30. You get very little downside and you get immediate upside, right? So what else do you notice? You notice that 10 a.m. price right here was retested for NQ. If I take everything off here, hide my drawings actually, you'll see 10 a.m. was retested on NQ, was never retested on ES. Another confirmation that price is in a hurry, doesn't really care to go lower. And then now we're at 12 with a massive overextension on our hands. What we should see here is by 12:30 max, I would say by 12:30, 1 o'clock, we should see this high taken. All right. And once this high is taken, I'll be looking for a reversal. Very, very textbook move. The same way, remember when price was dumping here yesterday? What did I say? I said 9 times out of 10, we're going to flip and go bullish just as fast as we came down here. That's exactly what we get. However, after a bit of accumulation, right? So looking at this move, who's to say price can't take this high and then start accumulating, wasting time, right? So I don't want to get my hopes up for like an immediate sell-off, but naturally, once this high is taken, there's no reason for me to look for buys anymore. The only buy signal we had today was during the streaming session was here. When price reclaimed the EMA here, you'll notice this 1 minute buy signal right around here, right? Other than that, not much going on. So I really want to pay attention here to how price puts together its next move, because we're at this key reversal hour. Either price is going to stall, fail to take out this high, give you a random drive inside here and you look for a buy, right? Or price is going to accelerate here, just take out the high, get it over with, and then start accumulating lower. All right, so that's the game plan. Bullish until this high is taken out on either NASDAQ or ES. Cool. Cool. So there you have it, right? We see the targets being hit here. Like I said, as soon as 12 o'clock hits, I'm expecting price to pick up the speed even further and hit these targets, right? Excuse me. By 12:30. So give price a few more minutes to hit here. And once we can take out this previous day level here on NASDAQ, I want to look for a reversal, anticipating that post 12 will give us some sort of reversal opportunity. Bingo. Nice. Nice. And Bitcoin should be ripping also. Look at this, right? Bitcoin starting to break out of this bull flag here. This downward wedge where price was basically manipulating. You see the manipulation, you see the break. A strong retest of this area. Could even buy Bitcoin. What about gold? Gold is still trending higher. Stop it, buddy. Once you get that confirmation on Ethereum and Bitcoin, that should lead to higher prices everywhere. Get this pullback. Who knows though, this pullback could be aggressive. It could push and break structure. Now that everything is taking out highs here, we'll see how price responds. This is what I was looking for. Now we have about an hour or so to just read price here and see if price is actually going to reverse. We have, let's go to 4 minute. Let's find those 4 minute gaps. There we go. We have this 4 minute bullish gap here that was filled, showing that price wanted to respect it and go higher. Same thing here. So a closure through here it'll tell us a lot. Man, I'm not gonna hold you. This move up right here was, if price could move like this every day, like I promise you, like we will make so much money, yo. The one thing that the market has and will always have over us as traders is the market picks and chooses when it wants to show this type of energy. Like yesterday, look at what we saw yesterday. This was my trading session yesterday from 11 until 2 or until 6 p.m. Look at it. Absolute garbage for no reason. Like there's no specific reason other than the market just didn't want to go anywhere. And then today, there was no reason for this. There's no major news events. There's nothing happening. The market just woke up today and decided to fly away. It's hilarious. But here we are, man. I'm looking for some sort of divergence here. It could take a while. Similar, like I said to yesterday, when we saw this massive move, we have to know deep down that if price wanted to just accumulate, it probably will, because the market is overextended. It's typically how it goes. It'll accumulate for who knows how long before the real move can pick back up. So I don't want to get my hopes up here for a short, knowing that this could take forever. He said, am I trading after FOMC? So today is not, here, let me pull it up. Today is just the FOMC minutes, so it's not a conference or anything major like that. So I don't see any reason to get back on the charts after that news is released. Typically, what you're speaking of is the FOMC conference and the rate decision, right? However, this is known as FOMC minutes. It's just a document. It's a it's a data release, basically telling you what they're planning on doing over the next X amount of weeks. It's a detailed record of the FOMC's most recent meeting, providing in-depth insights into economic and financial conditions that influence their vote on where to set the interest rates. Okay, so it's not even anything based on the future. My bad. It's all about what happened at the previous FOMC. So this most recent rate cut, this is a follow-up document for that. So it's not that big of a deal. All right, so I don't see any reason to trade after this comes out. This really doesn't mean much to me. The FOMC minutes versus FOMC meeting, two completely different ball games. All right. The last one was, I want to say, the Fed rate, which was, when was that? All right, there it is. Oh, nope, that's the speaking. Yeah, the actual rate decision and the Fed conference, here it is right here. This federal funds rate at 2 p.m., now that's a different monster. This is where, if you wanted to trade after 2 p.m., that's not a bad idea because the volume will be high. You have the press conference at 2:30. All right, so this is completely different than what we're seeing today. Today, I'm not going to be on the charts after 2 o'clock. All right, here we go. We're getting that pullback. Let's see if we can get this divergence real quick. Because, like I said, 12 o'clock will offer one of two things. It's either going to give you a pivot and a reversal, sending price lower, or you're going to get some sort of continuation profile, right? And being that both NASDAQ and ES have hit the target, I don't see any divergence at the high. I'm hoping to see a steep or a quick drive into our previous range here and offer a divergence off of one of these lows. that would be my setup or my basis to try and look for a buy. And here we go right now. We have 3 minutes left in this 15-minute candle. What do you guys notice? ES is pushing directly to these lows here. So this could be the trade idea loading right now. So I'll see how this candle closes, and then from there I'll draw up my last idea. So far there's been 2 ideas. One was very early. I caught a buy here, somewhere in here, targeted this high, quick scalp. And then the next signal was a buy signal here. I didn't take this one. And then now I'm looking for another buy signal if price wants to offer more divergence. Because remember, when I look over at Bitcoin and I look over at Ethereum, which these are the most bullish assets that we have, one of the most bullish assets that we have, right? And you see that this one just now broke out. So there's a lot of upside on Bitcoin. We could even retest this weekly open price here. Ethereum has a lot of upside. All right, and gold is still trending higher. All right, so there's no reason for me to think that this bullish move is over. It all depends on how price responds at this high. If we sweep this high, pull back, and give divergence, that's telling me that price is likely going to try to give one more leg higher. All right, so let's see what we get here. 2 minutes left in this candle. I'm going to clean up my chart and just watch this 15-minute candle until it confirms its closure. Nice. All right, cool. So notice so far we did sweep out 1 candle here on ES. Oh, you know it's crazy, my chart. You can't even see my chart, can you? You can't. 1 second. Take that out. Boom. All right, so yeah, long story short, both targets have been hit. NASDAQ takes out that previous day high. It looks like ES may have left an equal high, even better. And then what do we want to see after this high is taken? We want to see price either offer a divergence, which I don't see the divergence, or offer a sharp pullback where you get divergence inside of this bullish leg here, similar to this one right here where we got this massive break. When price pulls back, I want to see a divergence. There goes your divergence. All right, notice notice how this this 1045 candle did not sweep out the 1015 candle on ES, so you get this divergence in here, right? And that was enough to send price higher. And that's the same profile I'm looking for here, being that Bitcoin, gold is still bullish, right? Ethereum still fighting for that breakout, right? We still haven't made much of a breakout on Ethereum yet. Bitcoin breaks the EMA, breaks structure, climbs back above it, and now you're getting that retest. So that's telling me there's a lot of upside if this area holds on on Bitcoin. If this area holds, you should see an easy continuation higher. So with more upside on the table, I just wanted, there you go. I want to see a divergence. Here goes that divergence. Right there. All right, bingo. Let's see the 30-minute, nothing on the 30-minute, right? All right, so 15-minute divergence looks good to me. Now, I need to find that 1-minute bearish gap that created this divergence. So it'll be the same profile here, right? The same exact trade that happened here, right? You see the divergence, you see the bearish gap. I want to see price start flipping these gaps, reclaim that EMA, and show a good retest of that EMA. Here was a really clean buying opportunity, as we mentioned earlier, right? Right as price retested the EMA and respected it, right? So now it's the same profile. I don't want to see price continue lower here. Notice as soon as we put in this divergence, right at 11 o'clock, price immediately flipped the opposite way. So now that we get our divergence, we're at 12:30. I don't want to see price spend too much time down here. I want to see 12:30 offer a quick flip of this bearish area right here. All right. cool. That's the game plan there. And I may trade ES, being that ES may have left the equal high here. It looks like it did. Yeah, this daily high versus right here. It's like if it did take it, barely. You know what I mean? So this is what I want to see right here, right now. We may even get a higher time frame profile. There we go. We got a 3-minute gap and a 4-minute gap. So this could take a little bit longer. Nice. Nice. So the first one, the reason I didn't take the first one, there was no higher time frame confirmation. It was only 1-minute confirmations, and I was just like, whatever. But here we're getting those higher time frame gaps now. So this could end up being a really nice pivot. And we can consider this to be a bottom, right? A potential bottom here, short-term bottom, just like this one. We were anticipating this one to be a bottom, and that's exactly what happened. Now, if we can get this short-term bottom here to target new highs, that'll be the scalp for me. These type of trades are good simply because a lot of people are going to be looking for reversal shorts, right? And how many times have you seen people just try to short every single small move lower on the 1 minute? You get a break of structure on the 1 minute and everybody's trying to short it and they just get raided. Same thing here, you get that break of structure on the 1 minute. People are going to start looking for shorts, and we're going to use those traders as our target, as our liquidity. There's no reason to look for shorts at all right now. All right, so here we go. Let's see if we can pick up some speed. I wonder how long this trade took to develop. So here we had the low at 11, not even 10:58. By 10 minutes into the next candle, it was already gone. That's what I'm looking for here. So we're 3 minutes into this new 30-minute candle. So we'll give it about 7 to 10 minutes here. If price tries to go bullish really quickly, that's what we want to see. If it doesn't, I may be a bit hesitant to try this, and I'll just wait. We may get another weird divergence here, so we'll see how this speed ends up coming together here. So far it looks good, right? We put in a quick bottom right there. You see the rejection coming in. I want to see price reclaim this EMA and then start showing that it wants to break this bearish gap right here. ES already looking good. We got this internal high sitting right here. Same thing here. All right, cool. So let's see. Yeah. So yeah, nothing to be worried about with FOMC minutes. That's absolutely nothing. It's just a report of the previous FOMC conference. The divergence. So yeah, if you look at the 15-minute chart, you'll see that at what time was that? 12:15, right? If you zoom in at 12:15, you'll notice that 12:15 didn't take out any low on the closure, right? The closure is what solidifies it. Once it closes, if it closes with exhaustion, I'm looking for buys off of this area, and you're going to start to see bullish structure form around this low. But you'll notice that ES takes out this 12 p.m. low, a very quick, subtle divergence. It means nothing if price keeps closing lower, right? But then it actually means a lot if price starts respecting this area and giving bullish structure on the lower time frame. Then there goes your answer, right? Just like here where you saw this 15-minute divergence. It's very subtle, where one candle takes out two candles over here, and then that one candle only takes out one over here. And what do you notice? This is where the bottom was created. Price rallies X amount of points. And here it looks like we're about to get the same thing. We're already flipping the EMA on ES. I need to see NASDAQ catch up here. because what do you notice on the reversal here? Nasdaq was well below it for a little while, but once Nasdaq was able to reclaim this EMA, that's when the speed started to pick up. So I would need to wait for both of these to be above this EMA. Right now, the EMA is slapping Nasdaq in the face right now. 1236. So yeah, just give price a chance to do what it wants to do here. This very well could end up being another bottom, right? So we'll see. So cool, yeah. Just letting price do what it needs to do here. We know we're bullish. Just waiting on some sort of flip. All right. The 1 minute just looks the cleanest once again. It's crazy. But we're getting good movement, right? Price is accumulating, but notice how we're offering sweeps while we accumulate, which is nice. Eventually, we should see price just expand higher. We have these 1 minute bearish gaps that will serve as very important pivots. So you notice this move lower offers divergence. So that means I don't believe this is a genuine bearish leg. So that means once price starts to flip through these bearish gaps, I should target this high. As price is not bearish, price is actually bullish, and it's just trying to trick people to think it's going lower. All right. The only way price remains bearish is if these bearish gaps continue to reject, right? If price is unable to break here, then it's going to go lower, right? But as a reversal trader, I'm just here to anticipate a flip. And the moment this tries to flip, I will be ready for buys. What's the smallest stop loss you would go for? To be honest, bro, I don't think I've ever traded lower than 20 points, 25 points. Because if you think about it, bro, there's no reason to have a small stop loss, bro. Look at how far the markets are moving. If you're right, if you're on the correct side of the market, look how far the market just moved here. We just got let's say you bought late and you had a 35 point stop. You still caught 70 points or 65 points to the target, right? As long as you're on the right side of the market, why would I want to use a 15 point stop? You're asking to get stopped out, right? Use a safe stop once you've confirmed where price is headed, and then just hold the trade until you hit your target, right? Because the NASDAQ will pay you hundreds of points. There's no reason for you to be afraid to use a bigger stop loss, thinking that, some people think if you have a big stop loss, you won't make good money. And that is just not true. You just got to have the right target. If you're on the right side of the market, you can have a 60 point stop loss and still catch 2R, 3R. You know what I mean? So personally, my smallest stop loss is 25 points, I would say. If I use a 20 point stop loss, it's because, let's say I bought right here and then there's nothing else down here. So I'm like, all right, technically I can use like a 15 point stop. I'll add 5 points and do 20 points because I like to cover the low that I anticipate to be the swing low. I like to cover that, add a few points to it. So here would be 8 points. I'll add like 10 points just to be safe, knowing that if I'm on the right side, I'll catch so many points that I should not be worried about having a 8 point stop here. You know what I mean? Obi, sup, Obi? Loans look good. Usually wait for bullish divergence. Yeah, exactly, bro. We got the bullish divergence, but what do you guys notice about this setup compared to this divergence here? Look at the sense of urgency. There's no sense of urgency here. Pure accumulation, and price wants lower. So that's telling me maybe we try and sweep out like a 30-minute low here. There's a fair value gap also. Price is getting closer to these previous 30-minute lows. Price may want to just jab into that area real quick before going higher. Or price could just want to waste time right here. Like I'm telling you, like that's the one thing the market just has over us. It picks and chooses when it wants to just waste time, and it picks when it just wants to like blast off. Like we could be 100% correct. This is probably going to be a bottom, but who cares if it takes 75 minutes for this to actually go somewhere? You know what I mean? That's the part that makes trading stupid to me. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think that's fair. I think the market should be always moving unless it's like a bank holiday where there's no traders, but I feel like the market should always have good volume unless there's a legitimate reason not to. But hey, who am I, right? Who am I? I'm just your average day trader. I like how price is holding here, man. Let's see if there's anything interesting in this area. So I noticed that there's the previous day 10 a.m. price and 9:30 price sitting right here. That could be held up as no, that's not previous day, that's today. No, that is previous day. I'm sorry. Yeah, this was Tuesday. Tuesday's 10 a.m. price retesting. Tuesday's 9:30 price retesting. ES getting very close to this 30-minute low here. I would love to see a sweep there. Come on, yeah, I think we sweep this, guys. Yeah, no reason not to. Sweep this low, and then you get that 30-minute divergence. You get a 30-minute gap fill. That right there would be a really clean area for us for a reversal. So it looks like we're gonna get another 15-minute divergence potentially here. Nice. So yeah, all right. That's why you have to pay attention to everything that's going on, right? Just because you get the setup, one of the most important factors is speed, delivery. So that first setup here, don't like it, don't want it. Might even get a short off of that. When that divergence fails like that, and you see that bearish gap hold up, you look for a new bearish gap to form, which it should give us a new displacement. And you can just keep, oh well, never mind. We're stabbing into that 30-minute gap now. Really nice, really nice. I think we may end up getting a trade here. Just need to see that bullish flip. There we go. There we go. Hey, you might get this bearish gap here for a, well, nah, I wouldn't even entertain the shorts. Just let the shorts go. If price wanted to just run away here, just let it. Yeah. Too many bullish PDRAs right next to where we are right now. And this candle's gonna close in 10 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna be hands off the mouse here. Why? Because we've identified this candle it wants lower on the 30-minute chart. This 30-minute candle clearly wants lower, and we are not looking for shorts. So let this do what it wants to do. We've already swept this 1130 low. So hopefully we start seeing that rejection for a potential divergence. 15-minute chart is going to close in 8 minutes as well. So yeah, good spot to just sit back and wait for this to finish, and then hopefully we get a quick and very, very clean reversal opportunity. All right, cool. All right, here we go, right? You see the clear rejection coming in. I want to see price offer this buy signal here, and I'm going to try it. Let's see if we can get a break through this EMA. We have our 30-minute divergence now, which was the catalyst last time. Set this for 30 here. 30-minute divergence. You see that speed stepping up here. You just need to see that follow through with a retest. Excuse me. A strong follow through here. We have the bearish area of interest down here now. Now that we have a new divergence intact, we have a couple bearish gaps in here. Price displaces through all of those internal highs here perfectly. And I want to see how we respond now. Really nice, really nice. And you notice how it's starting to look just like this pivot right here. 30-minute divergence, immediate bullish pressure. Now let's see if we can reclaim this EMA right now. And I'm looking to buy ES just because ES has that equal high up there. ES is weaker. So down here, which one offered the sweep? See what I mean? Look how weird this is. Down here, ES was stronger, NASDAQ weaker. But then here, NASDAQ is stronger. NASDAQ doesn't hit this 1130 low. ES does, and price is trying to run here. But I need a retest. Sorry, guys. I can't get in unless it retests. If it wants to take off here, then I'm just going to walk away. I need a subtle retest. Come on, man. Don't do this to me. Give me a pullback, bro. Here we go, bro. Off she goes. Off she goes, man. This is so lame, yo. It's like it knows I'm not in it. Wait until I get in and start running straight to TP, please. Please. So the one thing I'm noticing here is this right here, right? Notice this bearish gap right here. It was hit on ES. We got a rejection, but we never hit this level on NQ. That's telling me to look out for this gap, because what could happen is we could push right into it. You get that pullback. This is where you want to enter on that pullback and then try to go higher. So yeah, keeping my eyes on that. Let's see, 3-minute gap. We haven't filled this yet. That's what's going to happen. Price is going to pretend like it's just so bullish, but once it hits this area, you're going to see some rejection more times than not. ES is stabbing into that area again. So maybe we get that correction here where NASDAQ is pretending to be stronger. We may get a rejection here and NASDAQ sweep a low, and then ES takes off, because ES should be stronger than NASDAQ. We've seen on multiple occasions ES was the stronger one. So let's see, man. Hopefully we get a solid pullback. I'm looking for an entry down in here somewhere next to this EMA. I can cover this low with 4.5 points. Target the high for about 6 points. Come on, pull back, yo. I'm thinking this is where price is going to pull back. We got to, we did stab into here once on the 1 minute. I'm just wondering why this gap hasn't been filled at all. You know? So my ideal entry price would be somewhere around 6,797.5. Hoping that it pulls back here, man. Come on, yo. All right, this is what I want to see. This is perfect. I'm looking for that gap where NASDAQ hasn't filled to show some sort of rejection. Here it is. So this rejection right here should create the trade idea. I just want to see price push lower. Come on, yo. Because I already know if I try to buy it here, the first thing it's going to do is just pull back. We have a potential 5-minute bullish gap forming. Yeah, there's going to be a 5-minute gap here. Entry in this gap is just all you could ask for, man. I'm not asking for much, right? That's why I'm doing my best to be patient instead of just clicking the buy button right now. I want to see a drive into here. There we go. We get that rejection that I want to see. I'm going to buy this. And I want to buy ES. I want to buy ES. Maybe like a 5-point stop. Look for about 5 to 6 points here. Yeah, 5 or 6 points to that high. All right, here we go. This is beautiful. This is what you want to see. Now you get to see, all right, are we going to actually hold this area, or is price going to try and just rip all the way through it? And that right there just guarantees that we are on the right side of things. Just wait on that retest. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. All right, so we get the retest. I want to know, I'll probably enter a little bit further up here because I just want to see price actually start climbing back out of this area here. Really nice, really nice. It's 1 o'clock too. Perfect. Let's see if we get that recovery. Let's see here. No entry yet, just waiting, just waiting. And then when I do my numbers here, 1 second. So my contract size, if I do 5 points on the ES, that's going to be 20 micro. 20 micros, 2 contracts on the E-mini. And then for NQ, it's going to be, if you rather trade NQ, let's say you buy it after we get up here, stop below here, 20 points. You can go 25 points here and look for a new high, 25 for 25. 25 points would be about 10 micros here for $500. I trade 50K accounts, so 500 bucks is my 1%, and that's what I would risk on this trade. 25 points for a 25-point gain. So far, good rejection. Remember, we're still inside of this new 30-minute candle, so I like that it's only been 7 minutes so far. You want to see price start taking off around that 10-minute mark, offering the confirmation that you want to see. All right, you got this bearish gap here. See if we can flip that gap. Send price higher. So far, so good. Really good patience on the day. You can see the trade idea finally coming together here. First buy signal here. This is going to be the second buy signal. Just looking for that final confirmation to try and drive back through these bearish fair value gaps. And if we're bullish, as I mentioned, it should happen right here, right now. You don't want to see price take too long inside of this red area. You want to see price actually just rip right through it. And then if so, I'll be looking to get in on ES here. Yeah, I'll be looking for ES. Or should I get in on NASDAQ? It don't even matter. NASDAQ seems to be moving a little bit better though. We'll see. If I do trade NASDAQ, it's going to be 10 contracts. If I trade the mini ES, it's going to be 2. So we'll see. Notice this bearish gap is holding right now. I want to see price decide to roll with this EMA instead. So let's see. I might do NASDAQ here. Yeah, NASDAQ is slightly stronger. We took out this high, whereas ES left like equal highs up there. So yeah, let's see if we get this closure here. Two-minute chart. Nice. So there's a 2-minute gap right here as well. And looking at Bitcoin, look at Bitcoin, bro. I'm telling you, bro, I might need to start trading Bitcoin, yo. It's just so clean, bro. Look at this. No hesitation, slight retest, and then it just rips. My goodness, Bitcoin. Good job. Lots of upside. Remember, this is the high that we just took out on NASDAQ. This is Tuesday's high. Bitcoin is a little bit late. Look at Ethereum catching up here. I'm telling you, I'm putting that on my New Year's list, man. I wanna start trading Bitcoin. Same exact trade idea, same exact profile, but these trades explode like instant TP. Instant TP here. I don't even know how the contracts work on Bitcoin, but yeah. All right, back to NASDAQ. What's going on? All right, so we're still chilling here. I want to go back and look at this previous setup here. Was there any bearish gaps on the way down? There was one. This was the bearish gap that price needed to break. It broke it, no problem. What time did it break? At 11:20 was the breakout. So that was 20 minutes into this 11 o'clock confirmation. So let's say give price another, what time is it now? Hold on. It's 1:11. So yeah, give price another 10 minutes to waste time here. And then by that 20-minute mark, similar to this expansion here, I want to see price offer the break of this bearish gap here. And that's why you always wait for certain gaps to break, especially when you're inside of your point of interest. Like right now, we're in a very bullish area, but we printed a bearish gap, which is exactly what I like to see. Now I want to see price reject. Here goes that rejection. And then finally, I want to see price fail to go lower and decide to come back into this gap and break through it. And that will complete the sequence and open the door for buyers. All right, see all of this right here. You can avoid all of this this weird drawdown because you know if price wanted to respect this gap, it could. And this could offer a sweep. Ideally, I don't want to see too much action below this low here though. If we do go back and sweep here, I want to see a quick stab and then a retrace back to the highs. All right, here we go. Let's see if price can actually break here. Notice ES with the strong move. Looks like ES is gonna break. And I may give this a stab if we can break it on NASDAQ. But see, with ES breaking it that easy, I may want to just trade ES, bro. Like what is NASDAQ doing? I'll give this 2 minute a chance to close here because this could just be a wick. And I may just, if NASDAQ doesn't break here and ES does, I may just trade ES, bro. That's telling me a lot. Like, what's the holdup? So there's about 30 seconds left in this candle. Let's see if this area leaves another wick. Come on, look at ES. Don't get too far ahead. 17 seconds left. All right, looks like I'm gonna try this, yeah. 10 seconds, yeah, let me get in here. Looks like we're gonna get this closure. I'm in at 252, ES is at 798, 799. All right, you get that break. You anticipate speed higher here. ES may beat us to this high though. So whichever takes this high first, that's where you manage the trade. Giving NASDAQ a chance here. They both end up closing nicely. We're right around that 16-minute mark. Both of these have been very, very bullish today. So we should see both take the high. However, if ES beats us to this high, you want to go ahead and either close out your trade or move the break even. But I think both should hit this high. All right, so I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna put an alert here on ES, and I'm gonna zoom in on NASDAQ. And also, while we're in this trade, I'm gonna drop the link to the giveaway. The giveaway will be closed at 1:30, so that gives you about 10 minutes or so to enter. Just one click of a button, so it won't take long. Here, I'll drop it in there right now. Giveaways, invite, edit, never create, copy. All right, here you guys go. Join. Join today's giveaway here. All right, and I'll pin this. All right. Cool. It says, let's see, what are you guys up to? When the days come when both assets aren't correlated, usually ends up in low probable trade ideas. Not much. That's the rule of thumb. Yeah, ES is the better buy. ES is ripping. Oh man, but I mean NASDAQ looks good too. NASDAQ looks good too. That high seems so far on NASDAQ though. ES is like right there. But like I said, man, we know what to expect. It's just a matter of what type of speed are we going to get here. We take all the internal highs. Nice. And like I said on that 5 minute, this 5 minute gap was important. I wanted to see price reject this 5 minute gap, pull back, as you can see, right? Once you pull back, you see price wanted to respect this bullish gap instead. So now that's telling me that this 5 minute gap right here should get ran through. And there's going to be sellers sitting in here more times than not. Let's see ES. ES doesn't even have a gap there. You know what I mean? So naturally, you anticipate price to just rip through this area of interest. All right, so here we are, right? ES is getting very close to this high. ES has like 2 points until that high is taken. So I'm hoping to see a random like pop higher that gives you a massive move beyond the high. An aggressive move, knowing that there's sellers in here with stops up here, right? I want to see the price try and just slam towards those levels, given a full TP, but it all depends on how this trade ends up following through here, because I do not want to be in this trade once a new high is made on ES, essentially. So I'm going to cut the trade whenever this high gets hit. Hopefully NASDAQ wins this race here. Good speed so far. I'm expecting this high to be hit by 130 or 145. And then the giveaway will close at 130. So here's the giveaway page. There's 10 entries so far. If I pull it up here, it's in the Discord in the giveaways tab right here. So you'll see it in the giveaways tab. Where is it? Giveaways. All right, yeah, under the ROC live stream, you'll see the giveaways, and then you just click this button here. You'll be entered into the giveaway. We have 6 minutes until it closes, so cool. Don't want to see price lose its steam here, yo. But as long as ES hasn't taken that high, we have to hold here and wait for that last drive through the highs. It should happen any moment now. All right, cool. So it is 1:33. Go ahead to the Discord and check the giveaway. The bot randomly selects the winner. So yeah, go to the Discord. Let's check on it real quick. It looks like we have a winner. All right, nice. Yep, winner is announced in the Discord. Just send me a message on Discord, and then we'll get you squared away. Nice. Cool. So yeah, that's how we're gonna do it going forward. Nice. Come on, just finish this trade off. I may even want to cut this. I just hate when price gets to these areas and slows down, because it's like, bro, if you decide to pull back here, I'll be furious. I would be furious. Discontinue. Where's ES? ES has, yeah. NASDAQ takes the league here. NASDAQ should take this high, man. But as you can see, the market is just professional at wasting time. Let me look around the market. Bitcoin still going up. Ethereum catches up. I'm telling you guys though, when we start trading Bitcoin, that might do it. That might be the asset that takes me to the top. Bitcoin is fabulous. What about gold? Okay, gold slowing down here. And I might just take my cash here. I might just take this, yo. I don't. Ooh, what is going on? Is there a fair value gap in here? Nothing. It's just wasting time. Why do all of this, bro? You're right next to the high. Let's see, 10-minute gap maybe. 6-minute gap, 5-minute gap, 4-minute gap. Nothing. Yeah, bro, this is what you call a professional waste of time. We have a potential 10-minute gap forming here. I don't want to get antsy, but I also don't want to let this trade come all the way back against me. So I'll probably just go break even here and just live with this, whatever happens. Yeah, bro, I hate stuff like this. I can understand a pullback, but all the way up here, you might as well pull back somewhere down in here and get it over with. Get the pullback over with and just pay us on the buys, bro. We know price is not bearish. Let's check that 9 EMA here. That's the momentum EMA. If price starts breaking that 9 EMA, which it has, and now it's starting to retest it, that's not a good look. You want to see price fail to reject here. I need to see a strong close back above this EMA here. There we go. Good job. This 9 EMA should carry price where it's headed. If it starts losing that momentum, the 9 EMA will tell you. Good closure back above it. Now let's see if we can get a slight retest and a continuation off of it. All right, so here is where I basically draw the line. I think I'm cool with 350, 400. I just don't want to give it a chance to upset me. You know what I mean? We're playing with a dangerous, dangerous snake. Now that we have the snake under control, I think it's best to just exit. Come on, yo, don't do me like this, yo. Don't do me like this. All right, break even for sure. Slight profits. Now this trade is risk free. Price is doing a good job of holding this EMA now. So naturally, I want to give it a chance to just finish the job, take out this high. ES still a little bit behind, so that tells me there's a lot of upside. It looks like price just wants to test our patience right now, bro. Either test our patience or snake us out with a weird fall here. I should have got out at 350, man. This is trash, yo. Why play these games so late in the day? Yeah, guys, what are you guys thinking here? Yeah, I'm going to break even and just let it play out, man. I don't like how we keep playing games underneath this EMA. That is not a good look. Come on, get back above it. Yeah, see, like this is the point where you can just secure profit. And it's probably going to keep going up, you know what I mean? But you just don't know how long this trade is going to take, being that price is already overextended to the upside. And then you look at the clock, it's 140. I don't want to see any of this. I want to see a trend, right? Because I know once 2 o'clock hits, price can start going sideways. Yeah, this is trash right now, but it all depends on your situation, right? If you're trading evals, you feel me? You can let this play out, go to break even, no big deal. If you're trading a funded account, $200 for today's work, that's not terrible. Me personally, I think I am gonna take this small win here, but there is a 10-minute fair value gap sitting right here. What's ES up to? ES is back down. I think it keeps going up. Any divergences? Let's see. Nope. No divergences. If anything, we're about to see a 15-minute divergence here on this low. So yeah, I like higher. I like higher. Let's watch ES here. ES should try and get back above. Yeah, ES try. If once ES tries to climb back above, that should open the door here. Because you'll notice we're just sweeping out a 15-minute low here on NQ versus ES. This 15-minute low is being swept, and it's about to close in 2 minutes. So we could see some choppiness for the next 2 to 3 minutes. And then once this is over, price could try and flip right back bullish. So break even is good here. If price gets way back in here, oh well. Then you got this gap here. Yeah, this is going to be that gap that ES needs to break if it wants to go higher. Nice. Yeah. See what I mean? How somehow they switch and they try and pretend to be offering different SMTs, but really the best SMTs today are the ones that show that NASDAQ is stronger. Right, so now we're getting a confirmation that NASDAQ is stronger by letting ES do this sweep here. You get this flip, then it should open the door for higher prices again. You want to see ES take out this gap right here. Let's see what happens. We break this gap, reclaim that EMA. ES should try and catch up, and NASDAQ should lead the way to a new high. Yeah, something like that. NASDAQ looks fabulous, holding that EMA again. Let's see if ES is actually going to go higher, or is it going to hold this gap? If ES can't break this gap, we'll probably get hit at break even. I'll move it up. Let me get like 50 bucks out of today. It shouldn't work its way too deep here, man. It should try and run here. If you look, you're getting that same pattern. Is there a 1 minute gap in here? It's a small 1 minute gap here. Is it a gap? Looks like it could be. Can't really tell. 2 minute, 1 minute. You got that internal resistance. You want to see price just break through here. If it can't, as you can see, it's not breaking it. It'll stop us at break even if it can't get through here. But we just closed that 15-minute candle, so ideally the manipulation should be over. All right, unless ES wants to sweep out this low, this 30-minute low before going higher. All right, so it's the same exact profile, but thankfully we got in on a good entry price. So if price does get back down in here, then that's telling me, yeah, price may try to sweep out this 30-minute low on ES. Yeah, right here. You know what? You know what I'm going to do, actually, guys? I'm going to take my $200. Why? Because if I'm right and we're about to go bullish, ES will give you another chance to buy it. If I'm wrong, it's going to stop me at break even. So I'm just going to take my 200 and I'll just watch this gap right here on ES. 146, not terrible. Let me watch this gap right here. Because if I'm right and price doesn't care for lower right now, what's going to happen is price is going to give you the same exact trade on ES. And you can just hold ES until NASDAQ makes an all-time high, which is still a pretty decent amount of points away. So I locked in 200 there. Really nice. Nice. Let's see if ES can break here. If so, that's going to be a buy signal on ES. And then you could go ahead and, looks like it's going to break here. Yeah. You buy 2 here, anticipating a run to that high, at least this high, and then that'll add another 200 bucks to the trade that I just took. Come on, close through it. Don't wick. Come on. I got in a little bit early. A little bit early because it looked like it wanted to run. So I needed to keep running here. All right, there it goes. 10 seconds. Give us a close up here somewhere. NASDAQ is ripping. What'd you guys end up doing? As soon as I want to switch it up, huh? NASDAQ rips. All right, we're almost to this high now. I would anticipate ES to be able to hit that high based on this recovery here. ES shows that it wants to catch up. So let's see if we can just get a nice little pop out of ES to wrap it up. Come on, don't do that. I want to see at least take out this high. Wow, NASDAQ is going to hit this high quickly too. Come on, ES, catch up, yo. Oh, I could have held NASDAQ, but I can't complain though. A win is a win. I'll take it. Partial, whatever it may be. Let's see what the chat's up to. Oh, there goes NASDAQ, and here goes ES right behind it. There goes that pop as soon as I get out. Wow, man. Keep going now. You better not reverse. I might take this 150. No, I'm going break even, guys. I'm going break even, and I want to see it pop. At least take this internal high. Come on. Ah, bro, this is lame, bro. I outsmarted myself. If this doesn't take off, I outsmarted myself. I could have just held NASDAQ at break even, and it rips. Come on, ES, you can catch up. You know you can. Got my stop just below that 10-minute FEG. Yeah, this looks like it's over. If we don't see that strong continuation here, come on, just keep going. Yeah, sit this at break even and let this one play out. All right, there it is. Yeah, I'll take it. $300 session basically, and I won't do that again. As soon as I switched over to ES, you just see NASDAQ erupt. But really good session today. Go ahead, DM me. Whoever won the giveaway, I'll check my Discord now. Let me see. All right, there it is. Cool. All right, cool. So I'll get at you guys tomorrow. Really good session today. Today will go down as a win, and then tomorrow we'll see what we can get. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. If you guys made money today, jump in the chat room, post your trade, and we'll be back at it tomorrow at 10 a.m. God bless. Everybody stay safe. There is red news in like 8 minutes, so you could see some random candle. Who knows? But I would say the reversal is starting to look nice with this SMT at that previous day high. You're about to see a 30-minute. You're about to see a 30-minute candle close here with the divergence. right? So that could lead to beautiful shorts. All right, so if you will be on the charts, I would be looking for the short, but I'm gonna sign out here and catch you guys tomorrow.